Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Liberty-Eylau Baseball. Chuck Zach coming at you live this afternoon from Nevada Community School in Nevada, I guess Hunt County, Collin County, Texas, where we are getting ready for the regional finals for Class 3A Region 2, the top-ranked Liberty-Eylau Leopards, the third-ranked Gunter Tigers, and I'm here with Frank Scythe. We're going to try to battle the heat, battle technology, and for the Leopards, battle some Tigers tonight.
Yeah, just a heads up, the center field camera is giving us some more issues than we've ever had out here in Gunter. We've got a 800-foot extension run. The wind, the thing's 32 feet tall, so it's going to be in and out tonight. Hopefully we can try again tomorrow with about a 30-foot ladder if somebody's willing to head this way from Texarkana with one.
Well, there you go. If you got a ladder or a real tall truck or a lift,
yeah,
you take any of that?
Yeah.
All
so
right, that'll
folks
work.
that aren't accustomed to old Frank on the broadcast, this is Frank on 5.5 hours of sunshine and stress. So be ready for an adventure.
Well, you'll be tanned if nothing else.
So here's a look at our center field camera that's going to be shaking like someone's out there pulling on it.
Well, let's give you the lineups as we're getting ready for a titanic matchup. This is the best matchup in the state in either 3A or 4A this week. The Leopards come in number one in the state. They're 32-4. They're taking on a Gunter team 35-2. The Leopards breezing 6-0 in the playoffs as they handle Dangerfield, Tatum, and Whitesboro in 6 straight games. For Gunter, 35-2. They eliminated Winsboro in 2 games, Ponder in 2 games with 3 shutouts in those 4 starts. They lost, shocker, game 1 to Hugh Springs in the regional semifinals. They came back and won the next 2 on a doubleheader Saturday last week, 8-5 and 13-6. And so that gets us here to our matchup this evening. The first game of a 3-game series, games 2 and 3 tomorrow if you need them, right back here at Nevada Community. It's the home of the Braves is what they're called. Let's give you the lineup now. Liberty-Eylau will lead things off, and Britton Pipes is in his typical spot leading off. He'll be playing shortstop tonight. And he starts off with a first pitch that's in there for a called strike. Following Pipes in the lineup, it's going to be Eli Jarvis batting in the number 2 spot. He'll be playing first base today. Behind him, Tristan Howe, the pitcher, batting third. Colin Evans is going to be in center field. He's batting in the 4 spot. Dylan Neighbors at third will hit 5th. It'll be Gabe Jarvis hitting in the number 6 spot as that pitch is in there for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Pipes. Cade McLeod, the DH, is hitting in the 7th spot. Maddox Moore hitting 8th. And hitting 9th is Arian Taylor. So it's Pipes, Jarvis, Howe, Evans, Neighbors, Jarvis. And the last 3, McLeod, Moore, and Taylor. Is this a little ground ball? And Britton Pipes is going to beat that out for an infield single. It was a big chopper, but it did the job, and Pipes gets on to start things here in the top of the first.
Pretty good at bat, got to 2 strikes and put a ball in play, put some pressure on the defense, and we've got a base runner with nobody down here in the top of the first. Sorry, I'm zoned out a little bit.
All right.
I'll catch my groove here in a minute.
While you're doing that, I'm actually trying to get a radio broadcast on at the same time, so we're having fun together as we work to try to make this thing happen.
And if you've never been to Nevada Community High School, there's not a tree within 20 miles of us, so
yeah.
It's one of those types of days.
It's about 95 degrees. There's a wind blowing out to left field. And that's kind of our setup. We'll talk a little bit more about it as we go. While we're doing that, we'll join the radio broadcast now as we get you guys from 107.1 on the air with us. So we have missed an infield single by Britton Pipes. That's all you've missed so far from the radio side of this. And we're here in the top of the first, and in comes Eli Jarvis. Jarvis from that left side. He has been hotter than hot in the postseason, hitting a rather scorching 458, 11 of 24 with 7 runs batted in. Pitch comes in, and that one misses just a little bit. And the count on the board shows 3 balls and 1 strike. Jarvis, not a guy with a ton of walks, only 1 in the playoffs. But he's got a 3-1 count now. Pitcher, by the way, is sophomore Jackson Wagoner. His older brother is the center fielder. That's Jarrett Wagner, and he's probably going to be the Game 2 starter tomorrow. But Jackson's 4-0. The sophomore making his 5th start of the season, giving up 13 hits, 9 runs, just 3 of them earned. Pitch to Jarvis. That one he goes down swinging. Pipes takes off for second and steals the base. So there's one away as Jarvis strikes out, but he does his best to protect the base runner, and Pipes gets down to second, and now he's a little bit shaken up, having slid in head first, and he's taken off the batting glove. I don't know if he jammed a hand.
That was a good 3-2 breaking ball. Good pitch to run on. Leopards have a runner in scoring position now with less than 2 outs.
I think they're asking for the tape from what I saw from first base coach John Stilson. So we got a timeout temporarily on the field. Looks like Pipes may have jammed a finger or a thumb. Whoa. Defensively, here's the Gunter Tigers. Sophomore Jake Ivey's playing at first. Jordan Villagrana is at second. He's a senior. Brock Body is the shortstop. He's a senior. Junior Parker Alleman's over at third. Outfield, Easton Overman in left, Jarrett Wagner in center, Braden Nelson in right. Behind the plate, Carson Williams, and again, the sophomore Jackson Wagner is on the mound. So we've got, I think, y'all caught up to everything that was going on.
Yeah, all in all, it's going to be a pleasant night. It looks like, it feels like. And if you can find a way to get out here tomorrow, this is a pretty cool facility. Don't be discouraged when you're just driving through miles and miles of cornfield. A school will show up at some point.
If you're doing that, you're right there. Keep going until you get out. You run out of corn. When you run out of corn, you're at the high school.
Looks like we're okay out at second base. Just need a little tape.
So with one away, in steps Tristan Howe. Howe hitting in the number 3 spot for about the last 6 weeks. And the first pitch to him, a little up in the zone for ball 1. Howe's hitting .346. That's best on the team. 10 doubles. That's also team high, with 3 triples and 21 runs batted in. He's also walked 20 times.
I've been tasked with following Pleasant Grove the last 2 rounds. I'm looking forward to my first look at these Leopards. This is my favorite place to be.
Nevada community?
No, watching Leopard baseball.
Oh, okay, all right, we'll make sure. I've never been here before, so I didn't know if this was something I'm missing. Fastball misses away, 2-0 now. Sophomore Wagner looking a little frustrated. I think he's feeling he's getting maybe a little squeezed at home plate. This is a Tyler chapter umpiring crew, so they are completely non-biased, which if you're used to having your umpires, you may be a little bit frustrated.
And it's not funny, but they showed up suit and tie. 4 guys walked in looking like I thought we were having a Hall of Fame ceremony, and it was the umpires.
They were dapper, no question about it.
They took those jackets off pretty quickly, though.
Now they're just men in black. So it's 2-1. Wagner taking a long look at second. He comes to the plate. This one hit hard into center field. They're going to wave Pipes around, but Wagner's got a gun. This is going to be close. In fact, the throw gets cut off. And the Leopards jump on top 1-0. RBI single, Tristan Howe. And Ellie's on the board first.
Excellent, excellent piece of hitting. Just what the doctor ordered there. Just serves one into right field. A lot of speed at second base. Easy run. And it's 1-0 Liberty-Eylau.
Here's Howe with his 22nd run batted into the year. Now Colin Evans steps in. This is a big park. 325 down the lines, 365 to the alleys, 385 straightaway center field. And for those on game day, you can obviously see the elevated fence out in center field.
Occasionally you can.
Yeah, it goes all the way from left center to right center. It's a big old fence.
The wind and the chaos out in center field shifted our camera to where the pitcher's almost off screen. So at some point, Chuck, I might have to just run out there, and you may be doing this solo.
I've done it before. Colin Evans in there now. Hard hit ball. This one towards second. Taylor made double play. They'll get one. The relay bounces past the first baseman. Evans being waved down to second base. He's going to get there head first. Well, there's 2 away. Liberty-Eylau gets a runner in scoring position. By the way, it was Zyvan Banks that was running for Howe, and he's forced out at second.
And it works almost like a sacrifice bunt. You got a runner in second now with 2 down. Not that you want your cleanup guy sack bunting there, but all things considered, based on the batted ball and where it was hit, having a runner in second base with 2 outs is probably the best case scenario there.
So with 2 away, in will step Dylan Neighbors. Neighbors is having a tough postseason if you just look at his batting average. He's got one hit in the playoffs so far. He's one of, I believe, 13. So it's an .076 batting average. But that's deceptive because he leads the team in base on balls during the playoffs with 9. And the first pitch to him is a little low and outside for ball 1. He's also been hit by a pitch one time, so it's 10 times he's been put on, even though he's only got one safe base hit.
Yeah, Liberty-Eylau faithful don't love that strike call.
Catches the outside part of the play. Wagner to the left-hander. With 2 outs, here's the pitch. Neighbors lays off one that was low and out of the zone. And the count's 2 balls and 1 strike. On deck is Gabe Jarvis.
I am enjoying the familiar sound of these cowbells. I've missed them.
Yeah, we were talking about the cornfields. Can't have corn without cows. Can't have cows without bells. Pitch up in the zone for ball 3. 3-1 now to Gabe Jarvis. Playing in the top of the first. If you're just joining us, Liberty-Eylau with a 1-0 lead. Here's the pitch. That's in there for a strike. Neighbors, really kind of a cool thing he just did. It's a kid who's played catcher a lot in high school. He started to take a step toward first. The umpire said that was a strike. And Dylan immediately tapped his chest. My bad. That was my bad. I'm not trying to show you, but I thought it was inside. Hits this one foul as John Stilson. That's good practice from jumping rope as a young kid.
Showed some hops and some reaction time over there, didn't he?
Little double dutch right there. So it stays 3 balls and 2 strikes now. Of course, Ricky Russian's coaching down at third tonight. Zach Fowler's in the dugout. Rick Fowler's down there with him. The 3-2 down low, ball 4. So runners go to first and second now. And Gabe Jarvis is going to get a chance. And we talked about how hot Eli is at .458 in the playoffs. Gabe's hitting .473 in the playoffs. He's 9 of 19 with 5 runs batted in. Doesn't have a walk, but he struck out 2 times.
And on top of an early lead, Liberty-Eylau is running up the pitch count on this presumed #1 starter for this Gunter team.
Probably not. I think his older brother probably is #1. I think they're doing a little bit of that chess playing with the pitching staffs. We're going to see if we can't maybe steal game 1, and then our guy's going to close it out for game 2. That's kind of what they're thinking here. That's in there for a strike, and the count's quickly 0-2 to Gabe. On deck, Cade McLeod. Runners at first and second, 2 away, top of the first. And here's Wagner's pitch. This one hit in the air to left. Left fielder camping under it, takes a couple steps in, and then almost has that thing go over his head. We said the wind's blowing out to left, and Easton Overman had to correct to make sure that didn't go over him. That's the 3rd out of the inning. The Leopards pick up 1 run. They did that courtesy of 2 hits. There was 1 error and 2 men left on base. Bottom of the first is coming up. It's 1-0 Leopards here on 107.1 and on Texarkana Game Day.
We are excited to announce here at Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital that we have expanded our capabilities to better serve our community. As a hospital, we have the capability for inpatient services. After your outstanding emergency care, we can smoothly transition you into one of our new inpatient rooms that have telemetry monitors in every room to continue your concierge medicine care. While our patients continue receiving their care in their inpatient suites, we also make sure that your loved ones are taken care of with our outstanding facilities. Our added services include a procedure room and also the capability of MRIs. With our imaging, we are able to offer outpatient, inpatient, and emergency room, MRI, CT, ultrasound, and X-ray. We are honored by your support and look forward to serving all your future medical needs.
Welcome back to the campus of Gunter High School in Gunter, Texas. Today's game is brought to you by Farmers Bank and Trust, Tony Langford Roofing. Gonna have to have somebody help me with this one. Los Ruvalcaba. And last but not least is going to be the Texas Card House. Reminder, we can't do this for you without help of our sponsors, so if you're interested in participating moving forward, get with Morgan Smith via email, go to the page, message the page, or contact Tony Langford, Jay Davis, somebody in association with Game Day, and they'll help you out, I promise.
Jackson Wagner, the pitcher, is going to bat ninth.
And here comes Chuck.
All right, so here we go. Bottom of the first, 1-0. Liberty-Eylau with the lead, and Brock Body, the shortstop, lead things off. And first pitch from Tristan Howes down low, ball one. Body's hitting a stupid .436, and listen to this on-base percentage, .621. He has, I double looked at this, 51 walks this year. They've played just over, 36 games? So he's walking better than a walk a game. And when he gets down, he's got 35 stolen bases on top of it. He's the real deal. 2 balls, no strikes. Howe misses with ball 3, and right away, that's the worst thing you can do with this guy up. Howe's 8-2 on the year. This is his 13th start of the year for the senior. 62 innings, 38 hits, 27 runs, 10 of them earned. And there's the 3-0 in there for a called strike of the knees. 33 walks, 71 strikeouts. His earned run average is 1.13, and teams are hitting 167 on the right-hander. Now comes back in with another one. Oh, Body threw the bat thinking he had second. We saw Dylan Neighbors apologize for what he thought was he being a little disrespectful to the umpire. Now Body's actually tossed the bat. He has to go back and get it and then step in the box. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch, that one down low, it is ball 4. So Howe walks the leadoff man, and now we're going to get a chance to see if Brock Body has the kind of wheels that we've read about, or if Gabe Jarvis can gun him down. His 52nd walk of the season. And just for context, Leopard's best guy with bases on balls has half that, about 25. Showed bunt, pitch down low, ball 1. It's Jordan Villagrana up there, the second baseman. Villagrana's hitting .305 with a .469 on base percentage. Body not going here, pitch misses wide. And so far, Howe's struggling with the strike zone. He's missed in all but 2 of his pitches. So 2-0 the count. Now taking a look, they'll show bunt, and that one a little high and outside, ball 3. So back-to-back 3-0 counts as Howe kind of peers in at the home plate umpire. He's having the same issues Jackson Wagner had about thinking he had strikes but not having them. 3-0 the count. And to make it ball 4. So back-to-back walks, and Zach Fowler is not happy with that as he comes immediately out of the dugout, and he's taking the slow, long walk to the pitcher's mound. Well, Howe's had a couple of games like this year. For the most part, he's been really good. He ran into base on balls issues for the first time really against DCAB, where he walked, I believe, 7 in that game. He just struggled all night, and it's the only Leopard loss since February 22nd. They lost that game at DCAB 2-1. He, I believe, went almost the entire game. If I remember right, I think he went 6+ innings, but just could not get away from the bases on balls. So Fowler gets his whole infield in. This is not after Howe. It's A, to calm him down a little bit, but B, we're having this discussion with the infield about what are we doing? Where are we going with this ball? Jarrett Wagner steps in now. Wagner playing center field today. Wagner's hitting .417 in the first pitch in there for a strike, and for the first time, Tristan's ahead in the count, no balls and 1 strike. He's got 15 doubles, that's high on the team, and 53 runs batted in, that's second. He's got to score a lot of runs. Shows bunt, puts it down in front of home plate. Howe's got a double clutch, now throw to first, and just in time gets Wagner. He wanted to play at third, and I think if he fielded that cleanly and got it out of his glove cleanly, he probably is going to be able to get the lead man. But because he struggled getting it out of his glove, he thought better of throwing one over there. It looked as though Body was going to be in there safe, so he went to first and got the automatic out. So it's first out of the inning, and here's the number 4 hitter, and that's Jake Ivey. Ivey with the team-high 57 runs batted in. He's also hit 5 home runs, and from that first cut, he was looking to get number 6. He's in the hole, no balls and 1 strike. Hitting from the left side. Ivy's hitting 434. And the pitch gets through the catcher, and that's going to be an easy run. This is a huge foul area and a lot of backstop. And our second issue for the Leopards this year just showed its face, and that is the combination wild pitches pass balls. And that allows Brock Body to come in. So walks and those extra bases for nothing have tied this game up at 1. Runner moves over to third. That's Jordan Villagrana. Pitch misses low and away and counts 2-1. And the home plate umpire has, at the moment, a very small strike zone. Very deliberate. The 2-1 way high. That's 3-1. Tristan trying to settle in right now. It's still a 1-1 game. Tristan very much laboring. He is high and walks his third batter of this inning as Jake Ivey gets a free pass. And so runners go to first and third. And in comes Carson Williams, the catcher. And this, if he wasn't hitting 444, would probably be your guy to try to throw a double play ball to. He's got a 511 on base percentage. It's tied for second best on the team. He's got 8 doubles, 2 triples, and 2 home runs. He'll hit from the right side. And Howe comes way high again. I'm wondering if, sometimes it's mounds that are different, that give you a little different feel. Some mounds are a little taller than other. I know Pleasant Grove's old field over at near Leon Blake Stadium on the campus of PG's middle school notoriously had a very high mound. Visitors would come in and complain all the time about throwing on that mound. Of course, this is a turf field, so everybody should be at regulation here. We're not building up dirt. And that one misses down low. So 3 balls, no strikes, and right away, that's going to be all. Zach Fowler coming out a second time, and Tristan Howe is not going to get out of the first inning. Dylan Neighbors changing some gear, and we're going to switch pitchers early here. And I think part of this conversation is, and I'll tell you what, Howe is doing the real peering into the home plate umpire, even walking off the mound. And this, in effect, is going to be, you're going to swap, in effect, your probably game 2 and game 1 starters. You're going to let whatever it was that Tristan threw in this inning, probably something in the neighborhood of 19 pitches I think they have on the board, and say, all right, well, you're down 19 tomorrow when you come back and take the mound in whatever game you're going to start tomorrow. You got to be better tomorrow. So Neighbors is going to come in and do the work next, and he's going to inherit a 3-0 count to Carson Williams. Well, it started exactly how you'd want to draw it up if you were Liberty-Eylau. You got to run in the first. You got your pitcher on the mound that you want, and he just couldn't throw strikes. He walked the first, he walked the second, he got a bunt ground out of the third, and he walked the fourth. So for Tristan Howe, no hits. He has 3 walks and can get 4. He's actually responsible for Carson Williams with that 3-0 count. Leopards, by the way, in their very stylish black uniform with the white pinstripe for the radio folks. It's been kind of a fan favorite, I think a Leopard favorite. Home's their whites with the red pinstripe, but on the road I think they've kind of liked the black with the white pinstripe. Gunter with their cream and blue uniforms, with Gunter across the chest in blue and the number right underneath that. Neighbors about to finish his warm-ups. Dylan on the season. He has got a 9-0 record. This will be his 13th appearance of the year. 10 of those were starts. 47 innings, 29 hits, 18 runs, 9 earned, 19 walks, 41 strikeouts with a 1.33 earned run average. And he inherits runners at first and third and a 3-0 count, which you would expect. Baseball convention tells you Carson Williams will not be swinging at the 3-0. Howe, by the way, goes to short. Moore goes over to third, and there's ball 4. Well, is it ball 4? I think it is. Well, they say 3 now, so apparently it was only 2. They had 3 up on the scoreboard. Either way, this batter still belongs to Howe. That one, he let off a little bit and got a waist-high called strike, so it's 3-1 now. On deck is the DH, Blake Bolin. And how about 3 and 2? And second time a batter for the Tigers almost threw his bat thinking he had ball 4. Key right now for Neighbors is you got to get that ball in the zone. Defense has not had a chance to make any plays at all. Here's the 3-2, just low and away. That is ball 4. So 4th walk in the inning, and now bases are loaded, and that, because of the 2-0 pitch, or 2-0 count, belonged to Howe. So he has 4 walks in his 1/3 of an inning. We'll move the catcher out of the way and bring in instead their courtesy runner. That's Cam Doty, who's their designated runner for the catcher. So here you go, Blake Boland up now. Boland hitting .357, 14 runs batted in, 2 doubles. It's from the right side as Neighbors is ready. Here's the pitch, misses low, ball 1. Frustrating bottom of the 1st for Liberty-Eylau. Gunter really hasn't had to do anything but stay in the batter's box and wait for ball 4. And now Neighbors steps off, and he's going to have Jarvis come out and make sure they're on the same page about where this is going. This is game 1 of a best of 3. Winner of this will get the Region 1 champion. Iowa Park and Holiday are playing 3-game series. Game 1's today in Holiday. Game 2 is tomorrow at Iowa Park. And game 3 is going to be at a neutral site, 7:30 tomorrow night. So they're going to travel to get to a game 3 if they have to. Pitch up high for a ball, and now it's 2-0. Well, Leopard pitchers right now just cannot find the strike zone. Neighbors set. Here he comes. That's in there. Dylan's just trying to find the zone right now. I don't think you worry about even throwing anything special. You just worry about getting it in the box. 2-1 the count now to Blake Boland. Good fastball as he blows it by the swinging Boland for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Neighbors a week ago dealing with allergies and sinus issues. Hopefully he's cleaned up and a little better this week. Misses on the pitch, 3-2. He knew when he let go of it, he held it a little long and missed the strike zone wide to the right-hander. 3 balls, 2 strikes now. Still just 1 out in the bottom of the 1st. Big exhale from Neighbors. Comes at him, swinging a foul ball. They'll try it again at 3-2. Mention the foul ground. There is a lot of area all over this park in foul territory. I would guess you're probably looking at minimum of 30 feet of foul area between the line and the fence. And a little more than that going all the way back to the backstop behind home plate. 3-2 again. Neighbors was ready and took a little long for Boland to step out. Braden Nelson, the right fielder, is on deck. Just jumping on board and asking what's the score. It's 1-1. But it's been a weird 1-1. This one grounded foul, and we'll try it again. Leopards picked up their run in the top of the 1st with a couple of base hits. Tigers have picked up their run with 4 walks. Put 1 ball in play, and that was a sacrifice bunt. 3-2 again. Got him looking, and Neighbors picks up the 2nd out of this inning, and that was a big one. That's a big one. Now you worry about any base and getting out of this inning. Braden Nelson now, the right fielder coming in. Nelson hitting .292. Got 6 doubles, 3 triples. He can fly around the bases. First pitch, ground ball toward Howe. He's got it. He'll go to 3rd. They'll get the runner there. And the Leopards, despite 4 bases on balls in the inning, get out of the inning giving up just 1 run. Hard to believe it, but we're got a 1-1 game. There was 1 run, no hits, no errors, and 3 men left on for Gunter. That is a huge lift for the Leopards as they get out of the bottom of the 1st, giving up just that 1 run. Quick timeout. We'll come right back here on 107.1 and Texarkana Game Day.
We are excited to announce here at Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital that we have expanded our capabilities to better serve our community. As a hospital, we have the capability for inpatient services. After your outstanding emergency care, we can smoothly transition you into one of our new inpatient rooms that have telemetry monitors in every room to continue your concierge medicine care. While our patients continue receiving their care in their inpatient suites, we also make sure that your loved ones are taken care of with our outstanding facilities. Our added services include a procedure room and also the capability of MRIs. With our imaging, we are able to offer outpatient, inpatient, and emergency room, MRI, CT, ultrasound, and X-ray. We are honored by your support and look forward to serving all your future medical needs.
All righty, welcome back. Chuck Zach along with you here on 107.1 and Texarkana Game Day as we're doing a joint broadcast of this weekend's series between Liberty-Eylau and Gunter, number 1 and number 3 in the state. It's been a weird start, 1-1 ball game as we go to the top of the second inning. It'll be Cade McLeod, Maddox Moore, and Arian Taylor to face the starter for Gunter, and that is Jackson Wagner, sophomore, left-hander. He's in and ready, and here's the first pitch on the way to McLeod, and that's down low, ball 1. Cade on the year hitting .302, 7 doubles and a triple. Pitch to him, outside, ball 2. McLeod in the postseason, .294, 17 at-bats. He's got 5 hits, 5 runs, 6 runs batted in. He's second on the team in runs batted in the postseason, and he's number 1 on the years. He's the only one with 30 runs batted in. Pitch in there for a called strike. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike now. McLeod DHing like he typically does. This one in there for a strike as he went off speed. And the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's a 2-2 pitch. This one ground ball towards short. Body coming, charging, throwing on the run, on the money. And there's the first out of this second inning. I'll go back to the end of the first inning when Dylan Neighbors got that final out. Coming off the mound, he covered his face with his glove and really, I think, kind of psyched himself up about getting out of that horrible jam he inherited. And he did that without giving up anything. There's Maddox Moore now. Pitch down low. Maddox for strike 1. He's hitting .295. 7 doubles and a triple. And he's been battling pneumonia this last week or so. When I saw him before the game, I said, how do you feel? He said, like I got pneumonia. I said, 1 lung or 2? He said, 1 now. I went, all right, well, it's getting better. You will see him on the mound tomorrow, you'd expect. One the count. It's a good pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wagner has kind of settled down after he gave up a couple of base hits in that first inning. He seems like he's slowed down a little bit and is more working to what he wants to do. And this one, a ground ball toward third. It's fair ball, long throw for the third baseman, and he'll get him by about a step. And that's the result of Maddox just not having oxygen. It was a long throw for Parker Alamon, the junior third baseman. But again, when you aren't getting much wind in those lungs, you're not getting up to full speed. And he just could not beat that out. Here's Arian Taylor now. Right fielder Taylor has the Leopards' lone home run of the year. Did that in the opening series. Taylor hitting .261, 5 doubles and 2 triples. Postseason for Arian, he's hitting .313, 5 of 16 with 5 runs and 6 runs batted in. That bottom part of the order McLeod, Moore, and Taylor. Between them, 17 runs batted in the postseason. Pretty good for 7, 8, 9 hitters. 1-1 the count. Swing and a miss. And Taylor did something he has not done much in the playoffs, and that's chase a pitch out of the zone. He has not struck out in the playoffs so far. Marion, during the year, 13 strikeouts. This one up top. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the second inning. 1-1 ball game. Here's the pitch. This one hit in the air. It's sky high. Shallow left. Shortstop body going out, and he'll make the catch in fair territory for the final out of the inning. So Leopards go down in order in the second. We'll come back for the bottom of the second, tied at 1 here on 107.1 and on Texarkana Game Day.
Diamond Bank walks with its customers through every step of life, side by side. From the first checking a home or business loan, Diamond Bank is committed to helping you with all of your financial needs. Diamond Bank's growth is the result of the growth of our customers, and we want to help you feel that same growth. We are proud to have the ability to give back to our local school districts, community organizations, veterans, customers, and more in a multitude of ways. Come discover the Diamond Bank difference with local people making local decisions for our local community. Stop by our current location in Texarkana at 5714 Richmond Road or visit us online at www.diamond.bank to see our products and services. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Meet Tony Langford Roofing, your trusted name in roofing solutions. Decades of experience and top-notch service. Passionate about your home safety, we treat every roof like our own. From repairs to full installations, we've got your home covered. Upgrade your roof with our variety of styles and materials. For roofs that last long, choose Tony Langford Roofing. We've got you covered.
And we are back. Chuck Zach coming at you live from Braves Field, Nevada Community High School. It's a fairly new high school. We're up in the expansion of the Dallas area. This is north of Royce City by about 15 or 20 minutes. Dylan Neighbors back to work as we start the second. He's got Parker Aleman, Jackson Wagner, and then back to the top of the order. So it's 8, 9, and 1. He starts off with a first pitch strike. Let's make it 2 in a row against Parker Aleman. Aleman hitting .264 with a .413 on base percentage. Here's the 0-2. Fastball up. You see Dylan starting to get loose. Arms looking a little bit better than it was in the first one. He was just trying to worry about throwing a strike. Here's the 1-2, high again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That's the thing that bit Tristan Howe. Just a little bit up in the zone when the runner started getting on base. Here's the 2-2. Nice, but a little wide. 3-2. He got the height right. He just missed a little bit wide of the plate. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Neighbors with a long look. Now here he comes, breaking ball high. So after having him 0-2, Neighbors loses the number 8 hitter, Parker Aleman. And the Leopards have handed out 5 bases on balls now. Jackson Wagner, the pitcher, coming up now. You would expect he's going to be asked to bunt. Wagner hitting .261. A double and 4 runs batted in, but this is certainly a bunting situation. See how the Leopards play this. Moore's ahead of the bag at third. Here comes the bunt. It's going to be back to Neighbors. He's going to go get the out at first. And the sacrifice bunt by Wagner does his job. He puts a runner in scoring position. And back to the top we go. Brock Bodie, who walked and scored the only run for the Gunter Tigers, comes in.
Next up, number 2, Brock Bodie.
It's not like Bodie doesn't swing the bat. He has a .436 batting average. It's just he's got a great eye. 52 walks on the year now. And first pitch is in there for a called strike. And give you the contrast. He's got, coming into this, 51 walks, 52 with the one he got, and just 5 strikeouts this year, and he's been hit by a pitch just one time. And this one fouled behind home plate, and the count's 0-2. That may be a stop the presses kind of thing if the Leopards can get Body to make an out. Jordan Villagrana is on deck for Gunter. There's the 0-2. Missed a little wide. See if he could get Body swinging at one out there, but he wasn't having it. Guy with his eye, he kind of knows the strike zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's a rather warmish 95, 96 degrees. We're going to be a little cooler tomorrow, they say. Maybe down to upper 80s. Game 2 starts at 3 tomorrow afternoon, so right in the heart of it. Ground ball. This is going to be towards short. Howe's got it on one hop. Throw to first a little bit high. Jarvis pulled off the bag. And Zach Fowler's going to want to come out and talk about that. Howe had time and just kind of threw the ball high like he had been pitching it. And Fowler's going to come out and want to talk. Now he's not even going to bother. The umpiring crew.
That's terrible at this level. We can't be having those kind of mistakes.
Umpiring crew kind of waves Fowler off, so we get an error on the shortstop. And now you got runners at first and second, and here's Villagrana. He walked in the first. First pitch, just wide, ball 1.
Oh, he was watching it.
A very, very narrow strike zone. Here's the pitch. That one's there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Leopards have allowed 5 walks and an infield error. We're in the second. This one lifted foul. One of the few balls we've had hit foul and out of play. And it counts 1-2 now to Jordan Villagrana. This one hit into the hole, past second base, into right. Arian Taylor's got it. They're going to hold up the runners. And the bases are loaded for a second straight time, and that's the first hit of the game for Gunter. As Villagrana gets a single. Yep, you're playing with fire here. And now they got Jarrett Wagner coming back up. Wagner, with those 53 runs batted in, put down a sacrifice bunt his first time up. He will not be doing that here, you would think. Number 3 hitter, 1 out, bases loaded. Leopards desperately need either a strikeout or a double play grounder. I'll take anything. If pop-up would be perfect as well. Dylan Neighbors trying to work out of a bases-loaded jam. Ground ball towards second. Howe's got it. They get 1 to Pipes. Relay in time. They get out of it for a second straight inning. The Leopards managed to get out of a bases-loaded jam with 1 out as Wagner hits into the 6-4-3 double play. There were no runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and the bases left loaded. Gunter is left on 6 through 2 innings, and we still have a 1-1 game. Quick timeout. We'll come right back in 60 seconds here on 107.1 and Texarkana Game Day.
Sorry you're under the weather, Susie. Here are those loan docs.
Thanks, James. I'm so glad we didn't have to delay this closing.
Tissue?
Thanks.
Secure and safe loan closings, or take care of just about any banking task. Experience the credit union difference. Anytime, anywhere. With RRCU's digital banking. Do you RRCU?
Alrighty, welcome back to the campus of Gunter High School. You were watching Texarkana Game Day's presentation of the regional final series here. Brought to you by Farmers Bank and Trust, Tony Langford Roofing, Las Ruvalcaba, and the Tex Line Card House. I'm Frank Sides alongside Chuck Zach. And I have been out in center field for a few minutes, and I finally got it fixed. We're cooking now. Oh, boy. Waiting on Chuck to get back from his commercial break. In the meantime, we head to the top of the third. Leopards and the Gunter Tigers all tied up at 1.
All righty, welcome back. Well, a strange ball game to start with. The Leopards pitchers can't throw strikes for the most part. When they do, Gunter's helping them out a great deal. That 6-4-3 double play to end the second is, I don't want to over-exaggerate the word humongous, but it was humongous.
I walked in to see that at the last second and did a fist pump.
There you go. All right, we get the top of the order, top of the third. Britton Pipes to lead things off. Pipes, Jarvis, and Howe to bat for the Leopards here in the top of the third. Britton looks at a first pitch strike. He walked, stole a base, and scored the Leopards' only run back in the first inning. Jackson Wagner still on the mound for the Gunter Tigers. That's strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Wagner right there, back-to-back pitches. Wagner, just a sophomore, has shown an awful lot of composure. He's ready now with the 0-2. Pitch to Pipes. This one slices foul, and despite a chase by Jake Ivey over at first, he's not getting to that. And so we'll come back with an 0-2 count again. Leopards coming into this with a, 32-4 record. They lost a couple games early, the season opener to Pleasant Grove, a couple tournament games to Longview and Spring Hill, and they lost that weird one to DeKalb. Hard hit ball, that's going to be fair down the left field line. Pipes is going to turn around first and head for second as he's going to have a stand-up double. They lead off the inning with an extra base hit from Britton Pipes, who just keeps ripping a hot bat. Pipes picks up his 9th double of the year, second on the team behind Howe. And here's Eli Jarvis coming to the plate.
0-2 breaking ball. He just left it 2 up, and the young man ripped it down the left field line.
Jarvis struck out his first time up.
Come on, EJ, get you one, buddy.
Leopards out hitting the Tigers 3-1. He'll show bunt, and the pitch is outside and high for ball 1. Jarvis, Howe, Evans, next 3 batters up for Liberty-Eylau. Top of the third, 1-1 game, and it feels like it is just a tale of 2 different games. Leopards have gotten a couple base runners and kind of made the most out of it. Gunter's had bases loaded twice and has made almost the least out of it. 1 run, despite having 6 runners left on.
Yeah, I was following from dangling over the center field wall. It looked like Liberty-Eylau was in a little bit of trouble.
Here's a pitch to Jarvis. This one fouled as he started to show bunt and then slapped it over the third base dugout. And the count's 0-2 now to Eli Jarvis. I think they show 1-2. We're having a hard time with the sun. I'm having a hard time looking at the scoreboard with the sun still up. It's showing 1-2. Oh, excuse me, 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Jarvis back to showing bunt. And again pulled it back. And now he's ahead in the count 2-1. And Gunter, very well coached. You can see their middle infielders doing something similar to what the Leopards do. Third base charging. Shortstop going to cover third. They're going to try to get that lead out. Jarvis, this one comes in on it. It pops all the way back to the screen. Nobody can find the ball, and Pipes is going to be able to trot down to third base. He pulled the bat back last second. And the catcher just had a hard time finding it. Carson Williams couldn't find the thing. It almost looked like it was going to go over the top of the screen right in front of us, but it hit about 3 feet from the top. And so Pipes, with nobody out, now stands at third base after the wild pitch. You would figure bunt is off now for Jarvis. And that pitch is up high, ball 4. All right, Leopards starting off the third with a couple of base runners. Here's Howe. Tristan singled in the first and drove in the only run, knocking in Pipes. And we're going to get our first look at the Gunter coach as he takes the walk out to the mound.
Leopards threaten here. Runners on first and third. Nobody down. You would have to think you're looking at putting up a crooked number here.
And this is an entire infield conversation. Same kind of thing Zach Fowler did in the first inning. Where are we going with the ball? Do we give up the 1 and worry about turning the double play and getting this thing to be a small inning? Or do we think this game is going to be so tight that we don't even want to give up one run. That's the discussion going on right now. So Tristan Howe is about to hop in the batter's box with a very big at bat here in the top of the third inning. Elsewhere around the state, Huntington and Whitney are playing in Region 3. Huntington won Game 1 of that series 3-0. Region 4, Falfurrias and London. London's number 5 team in the state. And they took Game 1 10-3. No game for either of those series today. They've got graduations, and so they will meet tomorrow for Games 2 and, if possible, Game 3. Of course, Region 1 and 2 will meet in the state semis. Region 3 and 4 will meet in the other state semis at a location of their choosing. Here's the first pitch to Howe. Hard ground ball. That's going to get through the infield, right side. In to score his pipes. Jarvis started to go into third base, and then he stopped. And decides to hold up to second base. He got stopped hard by Ricky Rushing when the right fielder, Braden Nelson, came up with that ball in a hurry. But Howe's 2 for 2 with 2 RBI singles, and the Leopards go back on top 2-1.
First pitch, swinging liner into right field, and the Leopards take the lead again.
Liberty-Eylau now with a 2-1 lead, and looks like we're going to have a little more discussion. I got to outfit Frank here with a headset for the radio broadcast. You can hear him on game day, but you're probably just hearing a lot of
Yeah, you wouldn't want
the radio broadcast. So we're going to do a little moving around. You're going to hear a little static for a second, and we're going to try to get all that cleaned up and get Frank a second headset. We're doing this the non-conventional way. We're each going to be wearing 2 headsets for a broadcast. It's a kind of a weird deal, but if it catches on, we're going to patent that and make sure that others follow behind us.
At a minimum, it's a good look.
All right, and we will start with Colin Evans coming to the plate, and ball gets away from the catcher again on another wild pitch. And that allows the base runner at second base, Jarvis, to move up to third. And so Leopards have another runner just 90 feet away from scoring. All right, I think we're going to have Frank outfitted now. He should be good to go. So it's a 2-1 lead. Evans showing bunt, first base side. Pitcher decides, I'm just going to first. I'll get the out there barely. And the Leopards take a 3-1 lead as Jarvis comes in on Evans' sacrifice bunt. So the Leopards go on top 3-1. Tristan Howe moves over to second base on that bunt. Still just 1 out in the inning, and Dylan Neighbors coming up. 2 runs across for the Leopards, a double, a walk, a single, and a sacrifice bunt. And here's the pitch. Bunt put down, foul, as Dylan was trying to bunt his way on the base. They're putting a lot of pressure on the Gunter defense right now. Jackson Wagner, the starting pitcher, I think he's up to 54 pitches. Again, there's such a glare coming off the scoreboard in right field. It's a little hard to read exactly what it says, but I think he's up to 54. All right, out will step Dylan Neighbors. He walked back in the first. Got stuck at first base in that inning. Leopards have led twice in this game, 1-0 and now 3-1. A little timeout as Neighbors has stepped out of the box. Now he's ready. Runner at second base is Tristan Howe. Good base runner. Good pitch. It's 0-2 now to Neighbors.
Come on, D, bring them around.
Leopards have picked up 3 runs on 4 hits. They've left 2 on so far. Pitch inside for strike. Whoa, inside corner. Neighbors, who was trying to be respectful to the umpire earlier, thought he got a bad call here as he goes down on strikes for the second out. And here's Gabe Jarvis up now. Jarvis flew out to left his first time up. Pitch almost hit him as he spun halfway away from that.
And early on,
one ball, no strikes.
Sorry, Chuck. Early on, this one has lived up to all of the hype. It's been an excellent baseball game to watch so far.
Here's the pitch. Jarvis lays off. They're going to ask, did he go around? He said, nope. 2 balls, no strikes. Cade McLeod on deck for Liberty-Eylau. And the pitch. Missing wide. 3-0. You kind of wonder how much leash Gunter's coach is willing to let his sophomore have on the mound.
And
here's the 3-0. That's taken all the way for strike one.
if you're watching on game day and you're wondering about the shake in center field in the camera, just you can't see the flag from here. Maybe, Chuck, you're blocked out, but the flag is –
oh, no, I see
this is a 50-mile-an-hour wind blowing out to left field.
It's
so
going.
We're losing our
3-1 pitch. Strike two. Daryl Hellman, by the way, the head coach at Gunter. This is his 8th year. He came into this season with 177 wins, so he crossed the 200-win plateau this year. 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. Base on balls. Inning continues for Liberty-Eylau.
And we're getting close to where the Gunter coach is going to have to make a decision about his starting pitcher.
Here's McLeod up now. It's third walk for Jackson Wagner. Again, Wagner with just 4 or 5 starts this season. This is his 5th start of the year. Put him in a pretty high-pressure situation. First pitch fouled straight back. McLeod grounded out to shortstop his first time up.
Get on top of that pitch.
Cade with runners at first and second. And of course, we have a runner, Ethan Berry, running for Jarvis. Pitch high. He goes to a ball and a strike on McLeod. Maddox Moore waiting on deck. McLeod, the team leader in runs batted in with 30. He's got a chance for one here. Howe dancing all over off second. This one fouled back as well. McLeod's not far off right now. He's hit both foul balls straight back. And so the count goes 1-2 now to Cade. Gunter with a whopping 2 losses this year. Howe taken off. Pitch is outside. And both runners actually took the extra base. And the count goes to 2-2. So Howe and Berry each steal third and second respectively.
I don't know if you saw the catcher hop up and head to the dugout and have to change his mind halfway there.
And umpires fooled half dozen or so players so far. Hard hit ball. Short, third baseman can't find it. And it'll be a run for the Leopards as Parker Alamon got a glove on it, but he kind of overran that ball. He was closer to the shortstop and took a step in that direction, had to reach back, and when he did, he knocked the ball down, but he couldn't make a clean play on it, and 2 or 3 times he reached back trying to get to it and just could not pick it up. And that allows Howe to come in to score from third. How big are those double steals on the pitch before? Leopards with a 4-1 lead now, and here's Moore with runners at first and third. First pitch called strike. Off goes McLeod, and they're going to let him take it.
Yeah, and umpires typically don't like the early walk. And now we've seen it about a half dozen times already in this one early.
Here's the pitch to Moore. Down low, ball 2. 8th batter in the inning for the Leopards. They're doing a couple things. They're ratcheting up the pitch count on Jackson Wagner. And number 2, they're getting lots of batters with lots of chances to be active in this game. You're not just sitting in the dugout. You're moving around. You're on the bases. You're running. Here's the 2-1. 3-1 down low. Berry thought hard about it. He took a couple of steps, but that ball did not get away from Carson Williams. Moore grounded out to third his first time up. Here's the pitch to Maddox. Fastball thigh high for a called strike 2. So it's 3-2, 2 outs. Leopards up 4-1. Runners on base are going to be moving. Here comes the pitch. Outside, ball 4. Loaded him up. Still no Daryl Hellman coming out of the dugout for Gunter. And now the infield's coming to try to settle down the sophomore. Number 9 hitter, Arian Taylor, coming up. This may be last batter for Jackson Wagner either way. Leopards have managed to work out a 2 bases loaded jams. Now Gunter's trying to do the same. 9th batter of the inning, Taylor, who popped out to the shortstop first time up. Ball 1, low and away. Wagner's walked 3 in this inning, 4 in the game. Inside, ball 2. Leopards with 3 already in this inning. And there are a couple of more bases on balls from getting another one in. That one's a strike on the outside corner. 2-1 the count. But Taylor could park one in this park. That wind blowing out to left, this place would lose its mind. He hits it hard, but rips it foul just wide of Ricky Rushing in the third base coach's box. That got everybody for just a second to go, ooh.
This is my first look at this young man, and you can just see the bat speed and power in there.
I've said in the last couple of weeks, he is going to be a baseball star. He's already a football star. He's going to be a baseball star. Pitch inside. We're full counted it. 3-2. Fowler out of the dugout with that we're running sign.
Top of the order waits on deck. Huge spot here for the young man on the mound for Gunter.
And Fowler's also a really important thing he just said to Arian. Settle down. Let's settle down in there. Make sure it's a strike. Arian with those pink batting gloves. Here's a pitch. Got it.
Oh.
No, inside, ball 4. Boy, for a second I thought it was going to be a called strike, and Hellman's coming out not happy. He thought he had strike 3, and he wants to know where that pitch was. But coming in to score is Barry from third, and the Leopards pick up another run in this inning on another base on balls. And he's still barking at the home plate umpire. He's going to have to end up pulling his pitcher, I'll bet you, but he is letting the umpire hear about what has now made this a 5-1 Leopard lead, and he's still not done talking.
Yeah, this is mound visit number 2, so he's done.
Jackson Wagner, he's going to hear his coach barking. He's not barking at his pitcher. He's barking at the home plate umpire, even though he's talking to his pitcher. Well, this has been a strange turn.
Now I'll tell you about some of our game sponsors tonight. This is Farmers Bank and Trust is helping us put this on for you. Tony Langford Roofing. And I'll tell you what, I am going to get this pronunciation correct. I can promise you that. It is Los Ruvalcaba. With 2 locations, one on 59 and the other on Texas Boulevard. And the text line Card House. Thank you guys, and we can't do this without you.
2 for 2, single double, 2 runs scored. And he steps back in now with the bases loaded. Wagner staying out there.
Chuck,
First
am I wrong?
pitch.
Is that last inning that they went to the mound?
I thought so, but maybe not. He just got a my bad strike call right there. Pitch that looked low and outside. Pipes swings and hits this one foul toward the third base dugout. Now it's 0-2 on Britton. Leopards on the verge, if they can get in a maybe hit or 2, of really making this hard for Gunter. Bounced in there, ball 1. Good block by Williams behind the plate. We're only in the top of the 3rd. Britton Pipes up for a 3rd time.
That is never a bad thing for the for your home team, your Leopards.
Here's the pitch. Be
careful.
He went up and he started to swing and checked it.
Be careful early calling those, Chuck.
Home plate umpire for a second I thought was going to ring him up. But it was a little high in the zone, so it's 2-2. Here's the delivery. That one is strike 3. He's not going to make Gunter's coach happy, even though he probably gave him a couple of strike calls in that at-bat to help maybe calm things down. But either way, Leopards pick up a 4 spot in the third. They do that courtesy of 2 hits. There was 1 error, and the bases left loaded. That's kind of the trend of the game. 3 times now the 2 teams have left the bases loaded to end an inning. 5-1 Leopards lead. We'll take a break. We're coming right back here on Game Day and 107.1.
Nerf Wars, safe. Dodgeball, safe. Kickball, batting cages, and glow-in-the-dark parties, you're all safe here, baby. Looking for a birthday party that's anything but ordinary? Iconic Performance Center brings the fun to you. With 2 hours of high-energy activities, plus music and dancing, this will be the party they'll never forget. Book your iconic birthday party today at iconicperformancecenter.net or just call 903-293-9949.
Alrighty, before we bring Chuck back in, we'll tell you one more time about our game sponsors. This is Farmers Bank and Trust, Tony Langford Roofing, La Ruva Calba with 2 locations, one on 59 and one over on Texas Boulevard. And last but not least, Text Line Card House. Remember, we cannot do this without our sponsors. Thank you guys very much. Go see those guys and show them some love.
All right, welcome back. Bottom of the third. This game's been going a little more than an hour, and we are just now getting to the bottom of the third inning. It's Jake Ivey, Carson Williams, and Blake Boland, the 4, 5, and 6 hitters, coming up for the Gunter Tigers. Dylan Neighbors, who came in relief in the first, is out here working in the third. His first pitch is popped foul out of play. Ivey walked his first time up. Neighbors has been solid since he's come in. He misses way wide and high on that pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And it feels like after following the Leopards the last couple of years with you through the playoffs, it's kind of like part of their what's the word I'm looking for here? Their vibe. Their
DNA.
They bend, but they do not break.
Yeah. That pitch in there for a called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fouled, third base side, not a play, and he'll stay 1-2. Liberty-Eylau starts this inning with a 5-1 lead. A run in the first, Gunter matched it. 4 in the third, hoping Gunter doesn't match that. This one fouled as well as it slices out of play down the left field line. It's still 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dylan Neighbors looking for a couple extra baseballs, and the man in the on-deck circle, Carson Williams, has them. Well, they are shading Ivy a little bit dramatically, it looks like, over into right center. Colin Evans a little off center there. Whoa, way high again. That's where Neighbors tends to be missing right now. He's not missing low for the most part. He's missing way up high. It's the same problem Howe had in the first inning. Here's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Grooves this one. It's lifted to right field. It's going to be Arian Taylor coming in way in, and he'll make a little awkward catch in front of Colin Evans for the first out.
Yeah, the wind made that way trickier than it should have been. You could see just by that play alone what the wind's doing to the baseball out here.
Wind blowing out toward left, and so a ball that's hit to right like that to Taylor, it's kind of blowing it back towards center field for him. There's one away. Here's Carson Williams up now. Williams walked in the first. He was the last batter that Howe faced. And there's a called strike.
And it's a combination of just being in the DFW area and not having a tree within you can't even see one.
Pitch high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Neighbors has pitched 2 full innings now, 1 walk, 1 hit, 1 strikeout. And misses that one a little outside. Went through the wickets, if you will, of the glove of Gabe Jarvis.
There are a lot of things to complain about, but a cool breeze on a 120 concrete day is not one of them.
Yeah, we'll take that. Here's the pitch. This one's fouled back. And it counts 2 balls, 2 strikes. Blake Boland, the DH, on deck for Gunter. Neighbors taking a look into his own dugout. Now he's ready. And here comes the 2-2. Fastball got him, hit him.
That hurt.
Yeah, you heard that one. And for the catcher, Carson Williams, I mean, you're used to getting hit with the baseball But usually after it's fouled off somebody, he's going to head out of the game because Cam Doty, the courtesy runner, is coming in for him for a second time.
Is that last name Doty?
Yep.
Well,
I know, right? Maybe some relation. Gunter's 2 losses. They lost to Woodrow Wilson back on February 28th, 5-0. And then to Hugh Springs on Friday, or Thursday rather. Lost that game by a 6-5 score in extra innings. That's it. Their pitching staff has thrown, I believe it's 19 shutouts in their 36 games they've played. 1 ball, no strikes. Neighbors going now at Blake Boland, who struck out looking. He was the first guy that Neighbors saw. And he's high again, 2-0.
Well, you've kind of got this squad in a spot they're not accustomed to being in, and you know, they're facing the defending state champions.
Well, you know, giving up 5, I'm looking at this. They gave up 5, 5, and 6 to Hugh Springs.
That's a pretty good baseball team.
Yeah, they gave up 5 to Blue Ridge. And that's another ball down low. 6 in a win to Frisco Independence. That's about it. I mean, 5 and 6 is the most you're scoring against the Gunter Tigers. Leopards already have 5. But they got a 3-0 count now on DH Blake Boland. Runner at first base. Throw over to first. This is how you let teams back. Give them free bases. Free hit batter. Free base on balls. They don't have to earn them. 3-0, Neighbors coming as he grooves that one for 3-1. Yeah, you're afraid a little bit with a 5-1 lead. Maybe on the mound, Dylan relaxes just a little bit. I've got some, better margin for error, and he misses again as he bounces one in. And there you go, 2 free runners here in the 3rd for Gunter.
Yeah, and the opposite should be the case. Your team spotted you a 4-run lead. You just throw strikes. That's it.
Yeah, and that's been the problem. Leopard pitchers have walked 6, have hit 1, and they got 1 on by an error. Gunter has 1 base hit.
It's a literal miracle they only have 1 run.
Well, I don't know about a literal miracle, but a figurative miracle anyway.
Tough to comprehend, I guess. Again, I wasn't here. I'm doing 100-yard sprints to center field.
There's Braden Nelson, the right fielder. First pitch to him. There's a strike to start it off. There it is. Getting ahead in the count's big deal. No balls, 1 strike. Runners at first and second. 1 out. Bottom of the 3rd. Breaking ball, ground ball toward the hole. That's in the left field. They're going to wave around the runner and then stop him last second. And the bases are going to be loaded with Tigers as Nelson gets a base hit.
Let's see if the Leopards can find a way to score them out of this jam.
If they do, if I'm Gunter, I just say, let's just wait till tomorrow. We'll concede it and go to the house and try to win 2 tomorrow. If you've come up in 3 innings and left the bases loaded 3 times, you just say, it's not our night.
Exactly. Or to play the devil's advocate, you just assume it's going to happen again next inning and try to find a way to get them home.
Parker Alamon, who walked back in the 2nd. Leopards, here we are, bases loaded, 1 away. This one's hit off the handle of the bat. Howe goes back to get it. Makes the catch in shallow left center. Look at that runner at third. Said, you want to go? Go on, Doty. I'll gun you down from here. Doty holds his spot, and there's the 2nd out of the inning.
And we're a good pitch away from wiggling off another hook.
It looked bad off the bat, like, oh, man, this is going to center and 2 runs are scoring. But he got it off the handle and just didn't have much on it. So now the number 9 hitter, Jackson Wagner, up. First pitch to Wagner. Oh, ball 1. And Neighbors walks off the mound a little bit like, okay, I got to get myself gathered in here.
They're going to need
Leopard fans are being creative with their criticism of the ump. Fastball misses, 2-0. Now, both teams have obviously been unhappy with this balls and strikes call. When we saw the coach for the Tigers last half inning come all the way to home plate and bark at the umpire. Here's the 2-0. 3-0. High and outside.
He's gonna have to sneak out of here on whatever side the team won.
Neighbors desperately needs to get this out. Here's the 3-0, and he walked him, and the ball goes through. Wouldn't have mattered. Run's going to score anyway. So Neighbors walks in a run, a hit batter, a walk, a single, and another walk, and now it's a 5-2 game. Bases stay loaded, and they're back to the top of the order for Brock Body.
Well, there's only so many times, Chuck, that you can just play with fire over and over, you know what I mean, before you're going to get burned. And now we need a good pitch, top of the order up, bases loaded. They got a chance to make this very, very interesting here.
Cole Bolt's going to be the runner over at first base. So the runner for Williams, Cam Doty, came in to score. Bases still loaded for the Tigers. And here's Body. First pitch, fastball strike. Body's reached twice, once on a walk and once on an error on Howe. Threw it high to first base and pulled Jarvis off the bag. High on the fastball, it's 1-1. This is a game that ages coaches. Inside ball 2. Neighbors starting to struggle a little bit. Two balls, one strike. Ground ball toward first. Jarvis has it. Underhand, it's a Neighbors. Got him barely to get out of the inning. Oh, man. Oh, boy, that was so close. Instead, the inning comes to an end with a ground out by the top of the order. Gunter picks up 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and how about the bases left loaded for a 3rd straight inning? 5-2 the score. We'll take a break and come back. Top of the 4th coming back when we return here on Game Day and 107.1.
Hi, I'm Jay Strickland, 2nd generation master electrician. This is our team here at Livewire Electrical Services. Your safety is our top priority. That's why with every service call, we do a visual safety inspection for our customers, because small things can turn into big problems if left unchecked. We also offer a Safety and Savings membership plan, which gives you priority booking service, discounts, and an annual safety inspection of your home to make sure your home's protected year-round. We're proud to have been voted Best Electrician in Texarkana for the last 3 years by the Reader's Vault magazine. We have a 4.9 Google rating with over 270 5-star reviews, because Texarkana trusts us to get the job done right. So give us a call today and experience the difference, because your home safety starts with us.
They're punching at each other, and we're going to see who's last man standing today. For Gunter, over the last 5 years, we talked about this with Liberty-Eylau last week. Over the last 5 years, Gunter's 181 wins and 19 losses. They were 36-9 in 21 and lost in the semis to Malakoff. They were 36-2 in 2022, and they lost in the semis to London. They were 38-4 in 23, and they lost in the regional finals to Boyd. They were 36-2 last year, lost in the state semis to Franklin, and they're 35-2 this year. There we go. We'll start the top of the 4th inning. Leopards will have the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Eli Jarvis, Tristan Howe, and Colin Evans coming up with a 5-2 lead. Jackson Wagner still on the mound. As a sophomore is going to get all they can get out of him.
An unbelievable turn of events, Chuck. A baby thought I was its father and wanted to come sit in my lap for a few seconds. That's where I was.
Yeah, as long as he thinks you are, not me. That's fine. Mine are all grown and gone. Here's the pitch on the way high and outside. And the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes to Eli Jarvis, who struck out and walked. And he scored 1 run. That one inside corner, strike 3. He's down on strikes for a second time. And That doesn't happen very often. But there's one away here in the top of the fourth, and here's Tristan Howe. Howe with 2 singles, 2 runs batted in. And a run scored. 5-2 Leopard lead, top of inning number 4. Howe looks at the first pitch, high and outside. Leopards with 5 runs on 4 hits. They've left 5 on base. Gunter with 2 runs on 2 hits. They've left 9 on base. Here's the pitch to Howe. That one's in there for a strike. It counts the ball and a strike now to Tristan. Waiting on deck is Colin Evans. Both of these teams in the same place in the order, starting the 4th. That one misses inside for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. Both of these squads with huge numbers of seniors. A couple of sophomores starting for Gunter. This one hit hard to left, down for a base hit. Tristan 3 for 3.
Hard hit ball to left field. You put that in the air, that may have a chance to get out of here. Smoked.
Easton Overman back there in left field recognized it was going to get down in a hurry, and he made sure it didn't get past him. So here's Colin up now. Evans with a fielder's choice. He reached on and put down a sacrifice bunt, so he's 0 for 1. First pitch misses low. You wonder if they wouldn't try to bunt him again, but with neighbors on deck and Dylan's still struggling to swing the bat well. He's picked up his 10th walk of the year, but he's still now just 1 of 14 in the playoffs. Here's the pitch to Evans. Down low, ball 2. Howe's got good speed over at first. He's got 18 steals to lead the team. I mean, it's not the 35 that Brock Body has, but it's not bad nonetheless. Here's the pitch to Evans. That one high, 3-0. I had a gentleman come over and ask me how many pitches has the pitcher thrown for them, and I'm like, it's on the board. He said, I can't see it. I said, well, I can't either. The glare is so bad in left field, you just can't make up the number. Here's a 3-0, taking all the way, 3-1. Three balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Hard hit to right, but right in the neighborhood of the Gunter right fielder, trying to double off Howe. Oh. They did. They got him on a double play. Howe got too far towards second base. He thought I probably had a run and hit on. He was taken off. Evans hit that ball up in the air to right field, and well done by Braden Nelson. His throw back in doubled off Tristan Howe trying to get back to first base, and that's the end of the inning. No runs, a hit. There were no errors and nobody left on base. Bottom of the 4th coming up. It's still a 5-2 Leopard lead. We'll take a break, back in 60 seconds here on 107.1 and on Texarkana Game Day.
Start your day with seamless transactions. Add your State Bank card to your device's digital wallet and enjoy the convenience of tap-and-go payments. Easy, secure, and thankfully at your fingertips. Simplify your day with State Bank's digital wallet. Your family, your bank, State Bank.
We're back here at the campus of Nevada Community High School for this live regional final series. Bottom of the 4th about to get underway here. Brought to you by Farmers Bank and Trust, Tony Langford Roofing, Los Ruvalcaba, with 2 locations, one over on 59 and one on Texas Boulevard, and finally Textline Card House. Appreciate all those guys helping us bring this to you, and we can't do this without them. So give them a shout, support their businesses, and tell them thank you on our behalf.
All right, welcome back. As we jump into the bottom of the 4th inning, Dylan Neighbors back on the hills. He'll take on the number 2, 3, 4 hitters in the Gunter Tiger lineup. Jordan Villagrana, Jarrett Wagoner, and Jake Ivey are scheduled to hit for Gunter here in the bottom of the 4th. 5-2 Leopard lead. Villagrana, 1 for 1. He's walked and singled. And he starts off popping this one in the air. Eli Jarvis back behind first base. Will drift into foul territory, and then that ball gets blown back fair and just becomes an easy pop-up for the first out of the inning. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Neighbors, much needed. And now here's Jarrett Wagner. Wagner's put down a sacrifice bunt, and he's hit into a 6-4-3 double play that ended the second with the bases loaded. And Neighbors starts him off with a strike. This is game 1, game 2, 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. If you have to have another one, it'll be 30 minutes after that. This one popped in the air. Same place. Jarvis, foul territory, going to call everybody off, and he'll make the catch. This one in foul territory. And now with 3 pitches, there's 2 outs in the inning. And it brings us back to Jake Ivey. Left-handed hitting, power hitting first baseman, walked in a flyout. Arian Taylor way back for Ivey. Ivey swings and fouls one back to the screen for strike 1. You can say this about Jake Ivey, the sophomore does not get cheated on swings. Good-looking ball player. Here's the pitch to him. Just misses. Well, that looked like it had a little screwball action to it. From the right-handed pitcher to the left-hander, kind of broke back away from him. Here's the 1-1. That one's a strike, and now it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. When Neighbors and the Leopards could use an easy inning. 1-2 the count. Neighbors likes the signal from Gabe Jarvis. Fastball a little wide. Ivey not going after that, and it's 2-2.
I don't know why. I think it's 2-1. Everything's messed up.
Should be 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Everybody's wanting to know what the count is.
That should be 2-2.
The ump just pointed 2-1. Neighbors can't believe it. Now he corrected it. It is 2-2.
Yeah, well, you say that. Scoreboard still says 1-2. We'll take 1-2 from the Leopard.
It doesn't matter if this is a strike. Yeah. How about that?
Throw a strike, it won't matter. Fastball, nope, out of the glove. And now it does show 2-2. I'd swear it's 3-2. You made me go on the stand. I'd put my hand up and say 3-2. And they put it up now. Yeah, it is 3-2. Here's the pitch. Nope, missed again. Neighbors with a base on balls after he had a 1-2 count on Ivey and just doesn't throw a strike in there. So he's now handed out 4 walks to go along with the 4 that Howe had handed out in the first inning. 8 free passes for Gunter batters, and now here's Carson Williams. Williams walked and hit by a pitch. You can add that to the free stuff. So runner at first, 2 outs in this 4th inning. Neighbors grooves one a little outside for ball 1. You can hear the crowd urging him on. Leopard fans are getting a little nervous. They were nervous all week coming into this series. Missed again, ball 2. Neighbors takes off the glove. He's going to rub down that baseball a little bit. I'm telling you, humidity is outrageous here. He doesn't have a towel with him. We saw in the last series, pitchers were taking a towel to the mound to try to deal with the humidity on their hands. And he's just rubbing up the ball, trying to get rid of some of that condensation or moisture on it.
Yeah, and back to the nerves. For all intents and purposes, this might very well be the state championship series.
It's big, no question about it. 1 versus 3. 2-0 the count. Misses wide, 3-0. I tell you, if you're a Leopard fan, you just got to be losing years at the rate this is going. you're humming along and then oops, and you're humming along and then oops, and then you do something really good, and you're like, yes, you can breathe a little bit, and then oops. It's kind of the way this game has been. 3-0 the count now. Neighbors with another throw over to first base, keeping Ivy close, I guess. It's usually your groove pitch, and there it is. At the knees, called strike, 3-1. I'll go to the grave saying I don't know why high school coaches don't let high school hitters hit the 3-0 pitch that they know is going to be right there on the tee for them. Here's a 3-1, swing and a miss. He took a little off of that one. And Neighbors kind of barks back at Gabe Jarvis. His throw was offline and made Dylan have to leave the mound to get that thing from maybe allowing the base runner to take an extra base. Dylan kind of barked back at Gabe. Let's get the throw here. Full count now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Neighbors pitch. This one hit in the air to right. Taylor coming on, will dive and makes the catch in front of Britton Pipes, who is coming out from second base. And the Leopards get out of an inning without the bases loaded for the first time. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on. 10 left on for the Tigers through the first 4 innings. Top of the 5th coming up. Still 5-2 Liberty-Eylau here on 107.1 and Texarkana Game Day.
Meet Tony Langford Roofing, your trusted name in roofing solutions. Decades of experience and top-notch service. Passionate about your home safety, we treat every roof like our own. From repairs to full installations, we've got your home covered. Upgrade your roof with our variety of styles and materials. For roofs that last long, choose Tony Langford Roofing. We've got you covered.
Alrighty, another reminder, our awesome sponsors that are helping us bring this regional final series to you. Thanks to Farmers Bank and Trust, Tony Langford Roofing, Los Ruvalcaba with 2 different locations in Texarkana, and the Tex Line Card House right over there on Gibson Lane. Thanks all of you guys for your support. Go out and support those businesses. Let them know how much you appreciate it. And if it's something you're looking to help do next week, if and when this team advances, make sure you reach out to Morgan Smith. Again, big shout out to the sponsors. We simply cannot do this without you guys.
Top of the 5th, a long and slow ball game. We've now been going for about an hour and 40-ish minutes. And it's a 5-2 Leopard lead as we get the top of the 5th. It'll be Neighbors, Jarvis, and McLeod. The 6, 7, 8 hitters. 5, 6, 7 hitters. We'll do that right. 5, 6, 7 hitters to face sophomore Jackson Wagner, who's still out there. And you got to give him credit. The coach here has said, I'm throwing you as long as I can. If we steal this game, great. If we don't, okay, we've got our 1 and our 2 going tomorrow. Their 1 is going to be his brother, Jarrett Wagner. He's 12-0 on the year. Their 2 is probably a kid named Creed Rayner, who's 6-1 on the season. You would think he's probably going to be the second guy. So in comes Dylan Neighbors, walking a strikeout, and he looks at strike 1. This one hit in the air to left. Left fielder going back, still going back. It'll bounce over his head and over the wall to a ground rule double. And Neighbors, who had 1 postseason hit all year, gets a double to lead off the 5th, and he will come quickly out of the game. Ivan Banks going to come in and run for him, and he hit that a whale out to left field. Easton Overman gave it a run and had no chance. That thing kept going, and with the wind blowing out that way, made it even harder for Overman.
Yeah, I was about to steal a term from the golf world. That's a 3-club win out to left field. Not taking anything away from that young man. He put the barrel on the ball, but I'm afraid in normal conditions that might be an out, but the Leopards have a runner in scoring position now with nobody out.
And Gabe Jarvis up. Jarvis is 0 for 1. He's walked and scored a run, or at least his spot did. It was actually.
And you got to wonder if the bunt's on here.
You would think, and he shows it and lets the ball go through for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. I'm an exceptional base runner at second base. For limited playing time, Banks on the year with 13 steals.
And the third baseman's not even remotely in. It's interesting.
No, because he's got the runner coming to him. That's a called strike. It's going to be the pitcher that's going to have to field this. Parker Aleman's kind of stuck in no man's land. He's got to hold the bag.
Yeah. If you could find a way to get this down the third base line, it's going to be a really tough play.
If show bunt again, third base line. It's going to stay fair. Everybody's safe. Bunt single, Gabe Jarvis. Zyban over to third. Aleman stuck in no man's land. You waited on that thing to see if it was going to turn and go foul, but it's part of the problem with the field turf. It's level. It ain't moving. If you're on a grass field, that may have gone foul.
And you typically don't want to bunt it that hard in a sacrifice situation, but you got it past the pitcher and made it difficult on third baseman to make that play, and we're cooking now.
So here's your RBI machine, Cade McLeod up there. McLeod with a team high 30 on the year. Got a runner at third. First pitch to him. Outside for a ball, and they're going to let the courtesy runner, Ethan Berry, just take second base, so double play off. One ball, no strikes. Maddox Moore on deck. Strike on that one. Threw a little breaking ball in there. Leopards up 5-2 and a chance to add to it. Nobody out, top of the fifth. This inning began with Neighbors one hopper over the wall for a ground rule double. Jarvis with a bunt single. Showing bunt. McLeod tried to put it out there and couldn't make contact. That's going to be a called strike because he kept that bat out there. And now he's in the hole 1 and 2. So you kind of figure bunt not happening. I don't know if that's a good play anyway. Pitch to McLeod. Fouled that one to stay alive. Ball in the air will score Banks if it gets out of the infield. Ball on the ground right side will score Banks. Although the infield playing in now, they're not going to let that happen. He tried to hold up, see if he did. Yes, he did. Ooh-wee, 2 balls, 2 strikes to McLeod. Gunter infield all in on, I'll say grass. It's green turf. Although Body's backing up a little bit at shortstop. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This one lifted in the air. It's left fielder's ball. Overman's got it. They'll tag up Banks. He'll come in to score to make it 6-2. RBI number 31 for Cade McLeod. And Liberty-Eylau gets that run back they gave away in the fourth. And Ellie makes it a 6-2 lead. That is manufacturing a run, and that may be all she wrote. It is. That's it for the pitcher. Jackson Wagner's day is going to end here in the 5th. He went 4 1/3 innings. He gave up 6 runs so far. 2 hits in this inning, 7 in the game. His problem, base on balls, he walked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases on balls. Struck out 4. Leaves trailing 6-2, and they're going to go to the bullpen. And let's see who they've gone to. Coming in for them, number 19. That is the second baseman, Jordan Villagrana.
And while he takes his warm-up tosses, we'll give you one more reminder that these companies and businesses local to Texarkana are helping us bring this action to you live for those folks that couldn't make the drive all the way down here to Nevada. We're going to start with Farmers at Bank and Trust. Thank you guys very much for your support. Tony Langford Roofing. You guys know all about Tony, what he's about, what he does there in Texarkana. Just a stand-up dude. He's done a lot for Texarkana Game Day over the years. Can't say thank you enough to that fella. And then Los Ruvalcaba with 2 locations in Texarkana, one over on Texas Boulevard and one over on 59/Lake Drive. And last but not least is the Tex Line Card House. Head on by there and tell them Game Day sent you. We'll bring Chuck back in here in just a second.
it's the little things you look at and say, how did you win? What was the difference? What was the thing? And the thing was in this, that bunt single that Jarvis was able to get down and allowed Zyvan Banks to move from second to third. He scores on the sac fly. If he doesn't get him to third, that sac fly is just a fly out to left field, and we still got a 5-2 game with a runner at second base. The little things are the difference makers sometimes. So 6-2 Leopards. Villagrana's finished his warm-ups. He's ready to take over now, and Maddox Moore, who's 0 for 1, ground out and a base on balls, steps in. Game 1, hugely important in this series. It's kind of like the Salina series a year ago. Their stud pitcher is waiting to pitch Game 2. You want to get Game 1. Last year we conceded Game 2, lost 8-0, and came back and beat Salina in Game 3 to go to the state. First pitch called strike to Moore. That's strike 2.
I don't see that happening, but if it is the case, let's see if Coach Fowler will give us a heads up so we can start our day a little later tomorrow.
Yeah, right. Villagrana's got a nice motion, an interesting movement of the ball. Hard ground ball. They're going to go to third to get the out first, and it's a smart play by Brock Body, the shortstop. He got the lead runner. He could have just gone to first and gotten the easy out, but that play was right in front of him, and the ball was hit so hard by Moore. It was actually a pretty simple play for Body to throw out the base runner, Ethan Berry. And so there's 2 away now, and Moore's at first base. Arian Taylor, who's popped out and walked. First pitch, called strike. Of course, we're seeing a right-hander now for the first time. And he's got a little bit of movement on that ball. Tries to throw a breaking ball, stayed a little bit up. He's not necessarily a fastball guy. He looks like he's a breaking ball, off-speed pitcher kind of guy. And Taylor's going to pop this one up. It'll be the third baseman in fair territory to end the inning. All right, well, Leopards pick up 1 run. There were 2 hits, no errors, and a man left on. 6-2 Liberty-Eylau leads. We'll come back for the bottom of the 5th here on 107.1 and Texarkana Game Day.
Texarkana, when it comes to electricity, you do not want to strike out. That's why I trust the pros at Livewire Electrical Services. These guys are the real MVP, voted Electricians of the Year 3 years in a row. Now that's a home run, baby. Need to upgrade your lighting to LED, diagnose a breaker that won't stop tripping, or add a portable generator connection? Livewire has you covered. Power problems? Call Livewire Electrical Services today. I know I do, because with these guys, you're always safe at home.
Dylan Neighbors back to work for Liberty-Eylau, and he'll start out Blake Boland, the DH, with a called strike 1. Boland, Nelson, Aleman, the bat here in the 5th. Inside low ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Boland has struck out and walked. Oh, that's a good pitch. Ground ball towards second. Pipes has it. Throw over in time. There's 1 away. Not been a lot of ground outs in this game. Leopards defensively have had 1, 2, 3. That's the 4th one. One of them, of course, was huge. That was the double play that Jarrett Wagner hit into to end the 2nd inning with the bases loaded. Here's Braden Nelson now. Nelson with a ground out and a single. He's got one of the only 2 hits for Gunter so far. And there's a called strike. Neighbors I hate to jump too early and say he's settling in, but he looks more comfortable all of a sudden. No balls, 1 strike. Ground ball third. Maddox has it. Throw across on the money, 2 outs. If you get a chance, jump back over to Game Day and check the article out about Maddox more. It's been a whale of a season for him under the worst of conditions. And here he is fighting pneumonia as we're a week or so away from trying to get back to state, and he's still out there playing. Here's Neighbors' first pitch, strike to Aleman. 0 for 1 with a walk and a line out. Right there again, popped up. This is above our head, not a play. There's no balls and 2 strikes. Chuck Zach, Frank Sides coming at you live from Nevada Community High School, home of the Braves. Breaking ball, this one fouled straight back. Good pitch. Aleman does a nice job staying alive in that because that's a tough pitch at 0-2 to say I'm going to lay on.
Dylan Neighbors is 1 pitch away from one heck of a shutdown inning.
Don't say it. You're jinxing things.
No, right here.
There it is, swing and a miss. Neighbors, a 1-2-3-5. Badly needed for the Leopards. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. Top of the 6th. Liberty-Eylau up by 4, 6-2 when we come back here on 107.1 and Texarkana Game Day.
We are excited to announce here at Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital that we have expanded our capabilities to better serve our community. As a hospital, we have the capability for inpatient services. After your outstanding emergency care, we can smoothly transition you into one of our new inpatient rooms that have telemetry monitors in every room to continue your concierge medicine care. While our patients continue receiving their care in their inpatient suites, we also make sure that your loved ones are taken care of with our outstanding facilities. Our added services include a procedure room and also the capability of MRIs. With our imaging, we are able to offer outpatient, inpatient, and emergency room, MRI, CT, ultrasound, and X-ray. We are honored by your support and look forward to serving all your future medical needs.
A little defensive change. Apparently I didn't pick it up last half inning, but Easton Overman, who was out in left field, has moved into second base. So he's playing over there, and I think they put Wagner out into right field. Into left field. So a little shifting around as they made some moves on the mound. We start the 6th inning with Britton Pipes leading things off. Pipes 2 for 3, single run scored, double run scored, and a strikeout looking. First pitch in there for a called strike, and that's going to be called strike 2. Home plate umpire who for 4 innings had a strike zone the size of a postage stamp all of a sudden has widened it out a little bit. 0-2 pitch. Pipes grounds this one foul third base dugout where the Tigers are hanging out today.
In his defense, we're 2 hours into this one, so I'm not complaining.
No.
But I know Liberty-Eylau pitchers or hitters aren't, at least.
Well, I think you only care right now about how does Dylan Neighbors feel. If Neighbors likes the strike zone, then we're all good.
Based on the last half inning, you might.
Yeah, pitch a little bit outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Leopard's going to be the home team tomorrow. They'll be over in the third base dugout. 1-2. Foul. Ooh, that got the catcher in his hand. Ugh.
Doesn't seem phased at all, does he?
Yeah, he's catcher. He's been hit by a pitch today, and home plate umpire's asking, you all right? Carson Williams goes, yeah, I'm a catcher. That didn't hurt. I laugh at pain. Here's the 1-2 again. That one not a strike. 2-2 as it bounces in. Pipes, Jarvis, Howe here in the 6th. Leopards up by a 6-2 margin. That one up high, ball 3. So after getting Pipes in the hole 0-2, Britton's worked his way back in. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and you got to tip the cap that time to Jordan Villagrana. Nice piece of pitching, and Pipes is now 2 for 4 with 2 strikeouts today. Here's Eli, who's struggling today. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of Ks. The top 2 guys in the order have 4 strikeouts between them. The rest of the team has 1.
There we go.
And how about getting hit by a pitch? Tell you what, any way you can get on. Eli trots down to first.
I don't know if you can call that a trot, Chuck.
Well, for him it is. That is the 7th time he's been hit by a pitch. Give you an idea, Leopard batters now been hit 76 times this season. 40 times Gunter batters have been hit by pitches. Here's House, 3 for 3. Off goes Jarvis, throw off the mark, and Eli's going to swipe second base. Not a great throw, and you ask maybe, was Carson Williams hurt when that foul ball that got him in the hand? Maybe not, but now you got to gauge how well can you throw down to second base. So Jarvis in scoring position. Howe takes one into right center. This one a long run. It's going to run all the way to the wall. Jarvis will come around to score. Howe's 4 for 4, and Liberty-Eylau goes up 7-2. Tristan now with 3 runs batted in, 4 singles in this game. And you may come back and say, wow, Howe didn't have it tonight. He 4 walks, 5 walks in the first inning, couldn't get out of the Yeah, he got it back with the bat. He made it up to his team with the bat tonight. 4 for 4 with 3 ribbies. He's standing at second. Colin Evans back at the plate. Showed bunt, it's a strike. Colin has reached on the fielder's choice, put down a sacrifice bunt, and flew out to right. And the ball he flew out to right was one where the right fielder at the time, Braden Nelson, fired down and doubled off Howe. Pitch outside, ball and a strike. Leopard batters got to be feeling more confident as this game has gone on. Evans hits this one. This is slicing into left field. And that'll be a pretty routine fly out in left for the second out of the inning. Jackson Wagner out there, started on the mound, now he's on left. There's 2 away, and here's Neighbors, who got a run for the Leopards back in the 5th with his ground rule double. Led off the inning, and ultimately, Ethan Berry come in to score. Strike on the outside corner.
Man, that is a good-looking cutter/slider this young man's throwing.
Yeah, it really is. You're right about that. Good-looking breaking ball. Goes to it again. This one put pool cues into the first base dugout.
It's one of those pitches you'd probably have to ask him what he calls it. It's right in between. It's probably too hard to be a slider, but
maybe a slurve.
They're going to go have a chat about it.
We got to talk about it. It's 0-2 now on Dylan Neighbors. Leopards with a now 7-2 lead in this game. We had mentioned hard to score runs off Gunter. Well, we got 7 now, and I think that's the high they've given up all year.
Wow.
That pitch way outside as he again went to the off speed.
And doing it the Leopard way, Chuck, just body blows.
Yeah.
Haven't had the knockout punch yet.
1 in the first, 4 in the third, 1 in the 5th, another one here in the 6th. Or excuse me, let me get that right.
Tried to call time.
A little soft liner, that one towards the second baseman, and that's how the inning's going to come to an end. Now the Leopards pick up a run, though. 1 run on 1 hit. There were no errors and a man left on. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Liberty-Eylau with a 5-run lead for Dylan Neighbors. We'll take the break, coming back here in 60 seconds on 107.1 and Texarkana Game Day.
Bottom of the 6th here in the regional final series live from Nevada Community High School. This is Texarkana Game Days presentation of Liberty-Eylau Playoff Baseball, presented to you and sponsored by Farmers Bank and Trust. Also, Tony Langford Roofing, La Ruvalcaba, with 2 locations, one on Texas Boulevard and one out on 59, and the Tex Line Card House. Thank you guys for going out of your way to help us bring this to the masses. I know the kids appreciate it, the folks in Texarkana appreciate it, and we certainly do as well. So let those businesses know how much you appreciate what they're doing, and we will see you guys tomorrow.
Ashdown Panthers won the 3A Arkansas State Championship this morning as they knocked out Miller County's own Genoa Central. You got to go all the way to Conway to get Ashdown and Genoa to play each other. But a 4-1 win for Genoa. And Pleasant Grove, the Hawks with a 2-game sweep of Lyndale. And they move into the state semifinals next weekend. Dylan Neighbors back at work. Quickly 0-2 count to Jackson Wagner. Wagner sacrificed bunt and a walk. And should have just been out on strikes. Actually, it's Cam Doty that's hitting. There's the pitch to Doty at 1-2. That one a little low and outside, 2-2. Had what looked like first out on that 0-2 pitch. He's got to work his way back through it now. 2 balls, 2 strikes. How about now? There it is. As Doty goes down on strikes. Strikeout number 3 for Dylan Neighbors today, and there's 1 away here in the 6th. We're back to the top of the order in Brock Body.
Man, I don't know what clicked before the last inning of work for Neighbors, but man, he has just been on a mission, locked in,
really in
quick.
The 4th. He really locked in the 4th too. He got those first 2 outs on the first 3 pitches. Got those 2 pop outs and has really settled in. He gave him a walk, but he's retired 7 of the last 8 over those 3 innings. That pitch in there for a called strike to Body. 1 ball, 1 strike. Body's a walk and a run, reached on an error, and grounded out to the first baseman. That one happened with the bases loaded. Swings and misses. That's not Brock Body's game right there. If you've got him doing that, you've got him out of his game. He's a slap hitter. He's not looking to try to jack home runs. 1-2. Oh, got him looking for strike 3. I said it earlier in this game. Brock Body has struck out 6 times this year. That was the 6th one. So in 36 games, 5 previous strikeouts. Neighbors retires him here in the 6th. There's 2 away. And back to the number 2 hitter, Jordan Villagrana. Walk, a single, and a pop out for Villagrana. Misses a little low. 2 balls, no strikes. Leopard fans hooting, but it was low. Anything close now, they're going to say it's a strike. That one was, and there it is. 2-1. Neighbors has kind of figured it out like Maddox Moore. Just throw it in the zone. If they hit it, they hit it. We got guys that can field. This ball lifted to left. Will Tipton. First ball, he's going to see it. He dropped it. Oh, gone. Tipton had the play and just dropped the ball. So we should be out of the inning. Instead, the 6 will continue. Tipton, I think, may have actually overrun that just a little bit. Again, the wind's blowing toward him, carrying that ball. I think it carried a little more than he thought it was going to. And even if it's just fractionally, it was enough to throw him off. So the Leopards commit their 2nd error of the game. And the inning continues, and now here's Jarrett Wagner with 2 outs. He's 0 for 3. Fastball strike. No balls, 1 strike. Hard hit ball to left again. Tipton with a glove on it this time as it goes down under his knees, and he makes a very nice catch. Okay, the routine are hard. The hard ones are routine. No runs, there were no hits in the air, and a man left on. 11 left on for Gunter. We're done with the 6th. The top of the 7th is coming up. 7-2 Leopards with the lead when we come back here on 107.1 and Texarkana Game Day.
Nerf Wars, safe. Dodgeball, safe. Kickball, batting cages, and glow-in-the-dark parties, you're all safe here, baby. Looking for a birthday party that's anything but ordinary? Iconic Performance Center brings the fun to you. With 2 hours of high-energy activities, plus music and dancing, this will be the party they'll never forget. Book your iconic birthday party today at iconicperformancecenter.net or just call 903-293-9949.
Welcome back. We may not get a chance to tell you about our sponsors again, with the Leopards being 3 outs away from closing game number 1 here as the road team in the regional final series. How about Farmers Bank and Trust? Really thank you guys for going out on a limb and helping us bring this to the masses. Tony Langford Roofing, you know what he's all about. He's been with us a long time. Los Rouville, Calabar. 2 locations, one on Texas Boulevard and one on 59, and the Tex Line Card House. Thank you guys all very much. We really appreciate you guys doing your thing and helping us bring these games to the folks of Texarkana. So thank you very much for that.
Leopards will have Gabe Jarvis, Cade McLeod, Maddox Moore coming to the plate to face the second pitcher for the Gunter Tigers. Jordan Villagrana came in relief of starter Jackson Wagner. And the first pitch to Jarvis, who was committed before that ball ever left the pitcher's hand. He was going to swing at one, and he whiffs at a pitch that was way low and inside. Gabe's 1 for 2. Fly out, a walk, a run scored, and a single. And his single was that bunt single in the 5th that moved Zyvan Banks to 3rd and allow him to come and score on a sac fly a batter later. 1 ball, 1 strike. Let's make it 1 and 2 now. Jarvis didn't like that one.
This young man's locating 3 quality pitches at the moment on the mound.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. That one bounces, 2 and 2. Leopards with 7 runs in this game off Gunter. You can get 1 more, you've eclipsed their season high. Pitch outside. Let's make it 3 balls, 2 strikes. Leopards with 8 hits to get those 7 runs. Pitch just inside. He started to pull the trigger and held off on it. And second walk for Jarvis. I said earlier in this that Jarvis has been just on a tear in the postseason. He came into this hitting .473, 9 of 19. He had also been the only guy on the roster that didn't pick up a walk. He's picked up 2 in this game and has gone 1 for 2. So he's, 10 for 21 and has his first 2 bases on balls of the playoffs.
What a time to get hot.
He comes out now as we get a runner. Here's Maddox and, Cade McLeod. And the first pitch to McLeod inside for ball 1. I think that's Barry. It is. Ethan Barry's running over at first. So he's basically the designated catcher runner. Off he'll go. Throw down to second, high and in front of the bag. Hoberman came in to get it, and that allowed a stolen base. And runner at second means we got a scoring position opportunity with nobody out here in the 7th inning.
And you've got this Gunter team on the ropes.
Ground ball foul. I'm looking at pitch counts now, and Dillon's up to 9. For the first time, I can actually see the numbers on the board in right field, and Dillon's got 95 that he's thrown tonight. You get 110.
I don't know if the count's right out there, but I'm not sure. I've got 2-1, but I don't know.
And he fouls this one back, so it's a second strike no matter what. McLeod is officially, 0 for 2. He grounded out, reached on an error by the third baseman, and had a sacrifice fly. He hits this one foul, and you hear the ooh from the crowd. If he straightens that out, he's got extra bases down the line. Instead, he pulled it down that left field line and foul. Give some credit to Jordan Villagrana. He's come in relief and has done a nice job. He's given up a run, but he's held the Leopards at least kind of sort of in check for his team to offensively be able to do something. They show 1 and 2 on the board now. And that won't matter because that's strike 3. McLeod just kind of looked at that. I'm not sure what he was thinking was coming, but it wasn't that pitch. There's one away here in the 7th. That is strikeout number 2 for Villagrana. 6 now for the Gunter Tiger pitchers. And here's Maddox. Moore has grounded out, walked, and reached on the fielder's choice. So he's 0 for 2. Pitch came in on him for ball 1. Arian Taylor waits on deck. Leopards with a 7-2 lead. 4-run third's been really the difference in this game. That's one of the differences. The other has been the ability for the Leopards in the first 3 innings to get out with bases loaded twice and only 3 times rather, and only allow 2 runs in those 3 innings. That's the story of this game. 2-0 the count. 3-0 now. Pitched way low and outside. So here we go. Maddox will take the 3-0, and the count will then be 3-1, and then we'll play baseball for real.
Surprise us, Maddox.
Yeah. And there it is. Taking all the way, 3-1. All right, so 3 balls and 1 strike. Villagrana checking that runner at second. Comes back to the plate. That's a good-looking off-speed. And it's 3-2 now. That's the one you've got the luxury of, I'm looking for A and I got B and I'm not swinging at B. I wasn't looking for that. Now you got to swing. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And he does. Hard hit over the head of the third baseman. It's going to roll down to the corner. Around to score is going to be Barry. 8-2 Leopards. Moore with an RBI double.
And this place is going bananas, Chuck. Man, what an atmosphere. Make your way out here tomorrow, folks.
And the Leopards have just scored the most runs off Gunter that anybody has scored this season. 8-2 the lead. Here's Arian. Taylor has walked and popped out twice. Looks at a first pitch called strike. And that extra run gives Zach Fowler a little extra security, having only 15 pitches left for Dillon. He can go to a Gunter Keith or a Britton Pipes if he wants to after he gets the first out of the 7th. Pitch inside, and it's 2-1 to Arian now.
And with that, you come out and you throw 15 strikes, you're probably getting out of here before they score 6 runs. If you want to keep the young man out there.
This one hit well, but at the left fielder. That's Doty. He'll grab it for the out. Well hit ball to left, but just not quite well enough. So there's 2 away. Back to the top of the order, and Pipes, who's 2 for 4, but it's a tale of 2 games for Britton. Singled and scored in the first, doubled and scored in the third, and strike out looking to end the third, and struck out swinging in the 6th. So he's 2 for 4. First pitch, low ball 1. 45 pitches now for Villagrana. And they got a pickoff set up behind Maddox Moore. Throw from Villagrana was not a great one, and Moore got back in there safely.
Come on, Britton, get you one, baby.
Eli Jarvis is the on-deck hitter if Britton can keep the inning going. Ball low and away, 2-0. Leopards have scored in the first, the third, the 5th, 6th, 7th. This one hit toward the first baseman. A lot of backspin on it. He'll grab it and underhand it to the pitcher, and that's where the inning's going to come to an end. But the Leopards pick up 1 run. 1 hit, no errors, man left on. Bottom of the 7th coming up. Liberty-Eylau with an 8-2 lead when we return here on 107.1 and Texarkana Game Day.
Hi, I'm Jay Strickland, 2nd generation master electrician. This is our team here at Livewire Electrical Services. Your safety is our top priority. That's why with every service call, we do a visual safety inspection for our customers, because small things can turn into big problems if left unchecked. We also offer a Safety and Savings membership plan, which gives you priority booking service, discounts, and an annual safety inspection of your home to make sure your home is protected year-round. We're proud to have been voted Best Electrician in Texarkana for the last 3 years by the Reader's Vault magazine. We have a 4.9 Google rating with over 270 5-star reviews because Texarkana trusts us to get the job done right. So give us a call today and experience the difference, because your home safety starts with us.
Alrighty, welcome back for what will be the last time, hopefully tonight. Game sponsors, Farmers Bank and Trust, Tony Langford Roofing, Las Ruvacolba, and Texline Card House.
Alrighty, we are back. Bottom of the 7th, Leopards 3 outs away from getting game 1. Dylan Neighbors back to work. First pitch misses as it's Jake Ivey, Carson Williams, and Blake Bolin, 4, 5, and 6 hitters for Gunter. This one hit up in the air, but it'll slice foul over the third base dugout. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Neighbors with 15 pitches to play with to get whatever he can out of this inning. This one hard hit, and that's going to be a base hit into right center as Ivey's on for the 3rd time tonight. He had 2 walks and a fly out prior to that, so his first hit of the evening. And for Gunter, that's just the 3rd hit of the evening. Villagrana's got 1, and Nelson's got 1. That's it. And a lot of walks, not many hits. Here's Carson Williams. Williams a walk. He's been hit by a pitch, and he flew out to right. Pitch misses wide for a ball. For Zach Fowler, the ideal thing would at least to get 1 out of this inning. And then bring in somebody with at least not the whole load to have to pick up here. That one ball too low. And that is pitch number 100. So if you're Dylan, you don't worry about that. You're worrying about this guy and trying to get 1 out. If you get a double play grounder, it's even better. And he gets a foul ball instead. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
Regardless of how this inning ends for this young man, you've got to give him credit. Came in a tough spot and just shoved.
Yeah, no question.
Saved the day.
It's gone 5 2/3 so far. This is a ground ball toward third, and it's going to get into left field. It's kind of hit it right between Moore and Howe. Moore was going to his left, Howe to his right, and neither one of them could get a clean beat on it. And it's an infield single. It actually gets into the outfield. So runners at first and second.
This is one of those teams that you don't want to let them believe they've got any life left.
Nope. And not so much even for tonight, but for tomorrow. You don't want them to leave here getting, we got 4 runs in the 7th inning, made it an 8-6 game, and we're positive walking into tomorrow's game. You want to make it 8-2 and be done with it and make them think it's hopeless. Blake Boland up now. Boland 0 for 2, walking a strikeout and a ground out. They'll bring in a runner at first base, it looks like. That's Alex Fenner that's coming in to run for Gunter. Whoa! That one took the glove right off Jarvis. He's going to get him throw to third base, and they got the runner at third. I don't know how. Neighbors with a pitch that was as bad as you can throw it. Gabe got his glove up somehow and got the ball knocked down, was alert enough to jump up, get to the baseball, and throw to third base, where I think the guy going down to third base started his slide too early and had to try to crawl into the bag and got thrown out.
I have been watching baseball a long time and have never seen that. His glove literally flew off. He had to pick the ball up out of his own glove behind him.
Craziness. Well, there's one away nonetheless. 1-0 count to Bolin. Fastball, swinging strike. It's 1-1 now. 104th pitch.
And if you're Gunter, you're going to leave tonight wondering what you did to frustrate the baseball gods like that.
No kidding. They left the bases loaded in the first, didn't get a run. Got one in the second, loaded the bases, left them that way. Ground ball. This one up the middle. Howe's got it, drops it, and nope, no play. They made a bad decision. Pipe's trying to throw to first base, started to hold up on the throw, and he couldn't hold the baseball as it released. Runner comes all the way around from second base to score to make it an 8-3 game. But it was a ball that was just so, kind of like the one earlier. Howe could get to it, but barely, and then couldn't really do anything. And I'm not sure if he didn't shuffle that thing on purpose to Pipes, who tried to make a throw and then decided not to make a throw, but threw it anyway and just basically threw the ball into the ground.
Now it keeps getting crazier.
I guess you call that error on short. I would probably ask the official scorekeeper on that, but it's an 8-3 game. Still one out, and Braden Nelson up now. First pitch called strike.
That had a little juice on it.
Yeah.
I think he's a little frustrated now.
Well, let's get the double play and end this already. Ground ball. Howe. He's got it. To Pipes for one. Relay. In time, it got it. They got the double play. 6-4-3. Who needs another pitcher? The Leopards win game one 8-3. 1 run, 2 hits, an error, and 1 left on as we end the 7th inning. Liberty-Eylau with an 8-3 victory. And for Gunter today, they left 12 men on base. Got just 4 hits in the game. But you're right, Dylan Neighbors goes 6 2/3 innings. He gives up 2 runs, both of them earned, just 3 hits, actually 4 hits. He walked 1, 2, 3, and struck out 1, 2, 3. But double plays in the 2nd and here in the 6th get the Leopards out of any problem. They take game one 8-3. And how about Howe had trouble on the mound? He went 4 for 4 at the plate with 3 runs batted in, and the Leopards gut their way through the first game of this 3-game series.
That was amazing. One of the more entertaining, wild, kind of you don't know what you're going to see every half inning. What a game. And go Leopards. Let's get this thing done in game 2 tomorrow and march towards Austin.
Leopards with 8 runs, 9 hits. Liberty-Eylau left on base. 3, 4, 5, 6 guys on base. All right, we're done for tonight. We'll be back here 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. It'll be game 2. Leopards up 1-0 in this regional final series. For Frank Sides and our whole crew, I'm Chuck Zach. You guys take care. Have a great night. We'll see you back here tomorrow on 107.1 and on Texarkana Game Day.
Let's go Leopards. Make the trip.